Today I'm going to be talking about web-surfer-llm-cli, which is a follow-up project that I have developed on top of my old browser automator agent. This one is considerably better and in many ways much more capable, and we will discuss why and how. So by default, this is a tool to let language models to drive browsers. But there are multiple surfaces that you can interact with it. A command line interface. Alternatively, you can expose this as an MCP tool as well. Your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Gemini, your GLM 5.3, DeepSeek drive your browser agent. Those can drive the agent that will drive your browser for you. Why is this beneficial? We might want to give a particularly complex task to our web surfer agent. When that's the case, this MCP tool allows for multiple levels of granularity for the orchestrator model, and therefore allow for longer horizon least level of granularity, which is like a human invoking the tool from a CLI. Everything is on the surfer agent. It will run the entire workflow. If it's interactive, then the orchestrator model gives a step number, like 5 steps or something. And then between pauses, it investigates the work that is being done by the surfer agent. Alternatively, it can get in on every step, or if you want to make it even more granular, and also evaluate every response that the surfer agent is getting. Of course, this is like very expensive for the orchestrator model's context. You are not saving any context on the orchestrator model if you use it at the callbacks mode, but execute step one step at a time mode still will be much cheaper for the orchestrator model than to drive the browser itself as well. Agent loop is ultimately a state machine that has like a setup process, choose action, etc. And then it selects and makes a tool call every turn. Alternatively, it can pass to the human and await for human action or talk back to the human. There is also a memory. When you are using it in recording mode, then every action you take are recorded as like a successful action automatically. When the agent itself is autonomously running a workflow, at the beginning of a session, separate agent looks for past workflows and sees if any of the past workflows matches the current one on a semantic level rather than string comparison. And if they do, then the saved hints from that workflow will be injected throughout the session. If it does not match, then at the end of the session, if the session was deemed successful by end of session agent, then those actions will be saved as hints. The sessions can be managed in parallel. Peek functions exist to extract the API calls that happen during a workflow. You can wrap these API calls into whatever you want, a programmatic interface, a command line interface, another MCP tool. You can turn websites into MCP tools or whatever you want. Copilot mode is a little different than the regular usage. You can also run this on either CLI mode or MCP server mode. The model cannot take action on its own, and it can tell you what you need to do, right? This is the Copilot mode. So today I'm going to demonstrate the Copilot mode in two separate workflows, creating a character sheet for Dungeons and Dragons 3rd and a half edition and N8N workflow happening. In that, it will teach me how to use N8N. Legitimately didn't know before this, by the way. This is how I learned it. We will use an orchestrator model that will coach the surfer model in small stretches, and then the surfer model in turn will coach me. Okay, so on this one, this is a video I have shot yesterday. I will now kind of dub over it. So what this will do is it will create a rogue character for me for D&D edition 3.5. I have given it the full character sheet for this, as you can see. And it will start by shooting up a browser. So now it will also like add some narration along with the browser actions, right? It told me to name it, it told me to name myself, and then it will make me choose alignment. These are the overlays, and these done and not this buttons are the feedback that we provide. I have chosen half orc where it was expecting me to choose human and it corrected me, and like this sort of thing is a lot more easy to manage when you have an LLM instead of like a static mechanical state machine like script. Give my stats, and also at the top you see there is a box. This gives me like more of a general contextual explanation on basically what is going on, and at times it gets removed. And also it gives me a small explanation of what each stat is doing. A brooding loner, etc. It's, as you can see, gives me a brief explanation on what each of these stats are doing as well. This mode is, by the way, surprisingly capable. I have used this on several web applications about like booking tickets, etc., where it did not have any saved tips or anything, and it was just going in cold, but it was able to navigate its way around. And right now, in this demonstration as well, it does not have much in the way of tips. It has some, but not a lot. So uh, it is doing it off the cuff for the most part. You will notice that also, like, we have been going for a good long while, right? We have like gone through many stats. Now we are doing skills. I think we will do feats in a moment and give us ourselves some class levels, etc. So how is it able to do this like with such a long stamina? How the context window does not get filled up? Basically, between turns, it is not remembering all that much from the context, because at every new turn, along with providing hints and whatnot, I also prune the DOM tree from every past turn, so that the only copy of the website that is in the context of the pilot at any given moment is the current state, the state right now.